Hey guys, and welcome to my first ever ranking video. In this video, I'm going to be ranking all 48 levels in just shapes and beats from worst to best. These rankings will be based on how inspired and fun the levels are, as well as how good the music is. All of these levels were played on hardcore mode, therefore that is what this list is based off of. Additionally, the beats will be judged on what you hear when playing the level, as opposed to the full versions which sound slightly different on Spotify. And with that out of the way, let's get to the ranking. Starting at number 48, we have Granite. This level was one of the 5 that was introduced in the 1.4 update for this game, the most recent update as of when this video was uploaded. Overall, the music isn't good and the gameplay is simply awful. Throughout a large majority of this level, you'll be confined to tiny claustrophobic tunnels which constantly change, as well as need to dodge tons of the tiny pellets which are spammed sporadically with no proper pattern, consequently making for an unfun experience. At number 47 is Termination Shock. The main gimmick for this level is constantly dashing from left to right as slanted walls close in quickly on you after a very slow and boring start to the level. This wouldn't be too bad in itself and would be lower on the list if it weren't for the fact that once again tiny pellets are just spammed with no real pattern. Quite honestly, that's just lazy and it doesn't equate to good level design. Additionally, the music isn't nice to listen to and the level is just way too long with many repetitive and repeated sections. At number 46 is Clash. The music is okay, with the distorted voice in the background saying "break free, we are more loud" over and over to suggest some sort of war in this level between squares and circles. This level seems quite inspired, however it's ruined by the fact that the entirety of this level forces you to dodge past and through the giant circles and squares which have no pattern, which means you'll have to rely on RNG and you can't find a pattern. This in itself makes no sense, since this game is all about moving along to the beat, not relying on luck. At number 45 is Flowers of Intimin. This is the first level on this list that comes from the Just Shovels and Knights pack. The music is actually quite fun and catchy, however this does not excuse the extremely poor level design. Throughout the level, you'll be left wondering where the hell you can even go without taking a hit. There's just too much to focus on at once, and it makes this level extremely frustrating, especially if you're going for a rank S where you can't take a single hit. At number 44 is Tokyo Skies. Once again, those annoying giant luck-based circles and squares with stupid sporadic patterns are back. But what's more, you have to do this in a very enclosed space. Fortunately though, this section doesn't last nearly as long as Clash's, but the gameplay and music still aren't as good as the other songs in this game, hence why it's so high up on this list. And number 43 is the infamous Mortal Kombat. Let's talk about the gameplay first. It's quite possibly the worst level design I think I've ever seen in my entire life. 9-year-old Mario Maker players make better content than this crap. It spams humans from right to left at the speed of sound with no chance for the player to even react. It's also RNG every time where they spawn, so that's lovely. However, the reason it's not number 48 on this list is because the music is absolutely banging and it actually makes the level so strangely exhilarating to play. It's kind of like a level that's so bad it's good, kind of. However, I would be lying if I said I didn't spend 3 consecutive hours on this one level desperately trying to pass it in hardcore mode, crying in every step of the way. At number 42 is another level from the 1.4 update, Creatures of Deception. This level is quite basic, with not too much to it at first, but then all of a sudden the difficulty ramps up loads and there's almost nowhere to even go without taking a hit. It's complete madness, but not the good kind. The music is quite good, but it doesn't excuse the crazy gameplay. At number 41 is Yoku Stage. This level's fine if you like incoming spikes, because that's literally all this level is. Just tons and tons of incoming pellets and spike balls. Nothing more really to say. At number 40 is Logic Gatekeeper. This is actually one of the tutorial levels, yet it's one of the worst in the game. That's because, as well as the music being extremely compressed and harsh on the ears, this level has just way too much flashing. The gameplay isn't very fun because it pretty much only consists of appearing walls that flash on the screen and just hurt your eyes, whether you're epileptic or not. Overall, it's just not a fun time. Coming out of the 40s, we have Core at number 39. This level is a bitch if you're trying to go for a no-hit run, because as well as constantly moving around, you have pellet explosions that are placed in the most inconvenient places, meaning you have to try and dodge on the spot constantly. It's a decent challenge if you're up for it, but I personally just find it unfun. At number 38 we have The Art of War. This level is quite calming with peaceful music and a slow pace. However, I find that most of the time I'm just waiting around since this level is insanely slow going. If you are needing to play a more relaxed level then this is fine, but I just find it a tad too slow. Apart from that one section where you're given gaps so narrow you need to be incredibly focused, which ironically kills the calm mood this song clearly tries to portray. At number 37 is Dance of the Incognizant. Strange level name aside, this level has a fun start despite the level design being repeated for a good minute before the next part. After that, it's just simply dodging from left to right to left to right, and it can get quite tedious. There's nothing really wrong with this level, nor its music, however it's just too repetitive. And number 36 is the Lunar Whale. The music's cooler than some that we've heard, and the gameplay is decent. However, I'm finding that at the start, I can just camp in a corner until the next section. This easy cheat makes for a bland level, but still okay. And number 35 is Sevcon. This level is quite similar to the Art of War in the sense that it's a slower, calmer feeling. However, this level is lower on the list because the vibe completely changes about halfway in and the music gets more intense too. Overall, it's a decent level, just not a memorable one. And number 34 is Paper Dolls. The music for this level is incredibly catchy and upbeat, and the gameplay is alright, with several repeated patterns of spike balls coming in left to right and vice versa. However, it's the ending which puts this near the bottom of this list. It feels like Mortal Kombat's level design, what with several walls quickly closing in. What's worse though is that they come from 4 directions with a massive divider in the middle of the level. Thankfully though, the placement of these walls aren't RNG based, so you can find a pattern of where to move, but it's just so damn quick and frantic. And number 33 is Legacy. This level honestly just depresses me. It's just one huge repetitive auto-scrolling mess. It's lower than other levels on this list because it can be decently fun if you're a very casual player, but honestly this level is just ruined by the fact it doesn't stop auto-scrolling and spamming little pellets. At number 32 is On the Run. Another annoying auto-scroller. This level is pretty much just shurikens and lasers over and over again, which is fun in itself, but it's repeated throughout the whole level, which is a pretty big downside, because I wish there was more to this level, but what's here is decent. At number 31 is Cheat Codes. This level is a pretty fun time if you're a casual player. However, if you're going for a no-hit run, prepare to cry, because this level throws a ton of obstacles at the end, making the level feel slightly lopsided. However, it's not as bad as some other levels, and the music's decent as well. And number 30 is Spectra. People who play Just Shapes and Beats might be surprised that this level is this high on the list. After all, the music's bopping and the level seems interestingly themed with hexagons you have to dodge through and out of the way of. And at the end there's a cool spinning section. However, despite the fact that which hexagons are dangerous change each time you play, this level doesn't have a lot of replay value, simply because it's quite repetitive. Coming out of the 30s, we have Katana Blaster at number 29. Yet another level which came with the 1.4 update. Katana Blaster consists of tight spaces, groovy music, and strange gravity physics. This level's quite fun if you're extremely good at the game, but average to mediocre players will really struggle with this level, which might take away the fun value it has. At number 28, we have our first boss battle on this list, which is New Game. Now, personally, I find every single boss battle insanely fun. They're my favourite kinds of levels. However, New Game is by far the most difficult, since the patterns are extremely fast, which doesn't give you much time to think about your next move. Also, this section just really pisses me off, since you don't know where the lasers will be when you're trying to dodge through them. The music's amazing though. And number 27 is Into the Zone. This level's extremely fun with great music, especially if you're a casual player who doesn't mind taking an occasional hit or two. However, the middle section is insanely difficult with way too much happening all at once, from every angle. This level is extremely hectic, but fun nonetheless. And number 26 we have Fox. Fun fact, this level has the shortest name out of all 48 levels. But anyway, this level has you dodging large pink ball trails throughout most of this level. Then all of a sudden you're in an extremely claustrophobic situation where you need to carefully navigate your way through it for a long time. Then the ending makes you dodge perfectly underneath the incoming balls. This level is quite fun and a great challenge, but the music I find terrible. The quality is awful and it's way too crunchy if you get what I mean. And number 25 is First Crush. This level is actually very enjoyable, with the theme being long trails of curving obstacles which sprout out and traverse the level. It's a pretty fun time, with great music too. It's just a bit repetitive with not much change, which makes it quite forgettable. And number 24 is the first proper level of story mode, Kronos. There's lasers and pellets and everything you'd expect out of a Just Shapes and Beats level. It serves its purpose as a fun beginner level, but not much more. At number 23 is La Danse Macabre. This is the newest boss battle of the game, and it came with the Just Shovels and Knights update. There's nothing inherently wrong or bad about this level. After all, it's a fun boss battle with groovy music. However, it's way too easy for a boss due to all the exploits there are, like this part where you can literally just camp in this corner to avoid all the spinning sides, and the same for the ending. It's still a fun time though. At number 22 is In the Halls of the Usurper. Another Just Shovels and Knights level. This one has you avoiding stuff from a trumpet? I'm not too sure, as well as sewage pipe water? I'm not really sure what the obstacles are meant to be in this level. Either way, it's a fun time, but there is an exploit which ruins this intentionally hard level where you can just sit in between two pipes and not need to worry about dodging anything. At number 21 is Cascade. This level has you dodging obstacles that curve in on you, as well as rain that slowly comes down. Then all of a sudden, the level bursts to life with quick moving obstacles. It's quite the thrill and great fun, just a tad short for what it is. And now we're in the top 20. Coming in at number 20 is Crystaltokyo. This is one of the easier levels in the game, with quickly closing walls which puts you in an incredibly tight space, followed by lasers which spiral at the centre. You're given a fair amount of time to prepare, which makes it decently easy, but that doesn't make it any less fun. At number 19 is Annihilate Original Mix. This is a great final level for story mode, and it does a fantastic job at hyping you up for the drop, which says... This level is insanely fun for both casual players and players who want to get a rank S, and the music really adds to the feel of this level. The boss looks scary and intimidating, and chomps his teeth together and spawns spiky balls which hurl at all directions. Learning the patterns for this level is a great challenge, and overall, the level is just an awesome and thrilling time. And number 18 is Wicked. This level feels a lot more cryptic than the others, with eerie music and a slower build. But once the beat drops, it drops hard, and the level instantly picks up the pace with quickly appearing walls that you need to quickly dash to the other side of the screen. It's great fun with a lot of replay value, but quite challenging if you're going for a rank S. Now here's where we get into the really fun levels. And number 17 is Final Boss. Plot twist, it's not actually the final boss, but it's still an amazingly fun boss battle. You'll start by frantically dashing up the stage, avoiding the enemies that launch from the sides of the screen, and then you're avoiding his lasers, and then you're doing both at the same time to maintain speed so he doesn't catch you. This level is insanely frantic with great music. And number 16 is Houston. This level is fairly simplistic, but great fun nonetheless. You have to simultaneously move up and down to dodge the incoming spiky walls, whilst ensuring that you're not going to get hit by the appearing lasers. As well as this, there's a section with multiple appearing lasers in random spots, so you'll need to be careful at all times. At number 15 is another boss battle, Lycanthropy. First of all, the music is straight up amazing, especially when the beat drops. As well as this battle actually feels like you're tackling a boss that's emerged from the water and is attacking you with several spike balls, lasers, cannons of spikes, and falling debris from above. There's just so much going on and it's amazing. And number 14 is Long Live the New Fresh, the first boss battle you'll encounter in story mode. What's not to love about this level? The music's groovy and the level does really well at building you up for the drop. And the ending's brilliant, he punches himself to death. At number 13 is Vindicate Me. The beat's really cool and the level design is quite challenging but extremely fun. Incoming blocks walk towards you and slam into the ceiling or floor, and you need to carefully dodge past it at the right time, as well as avoiding incoming spikes that come from the right. And then there's the sections with expanding circles which push out to try and hurt you. So much happens throughout this level and it's a really fun time. At number 12 is Strike the Earth, the best out of the 4 Just Shovels and Knights levels. This level is so much fun, what with the incoming shovel projectiles, as well as the small pellets coming in from the right, and the explosions of obstacles. Furthermore, the music is nothing short of spectacular. It's so upbeat and really makes you feel good while playing this level. It even sounds a lot like Mario Kart music. Overall, this music is straight up incredible. And number 11 is the infamous Close to Me. Spoiler alert, your cube friend who's helped you on your journey to stop evil turns corrupted and you have to fight him. The premise for this level makes it all the better. You need to dodge his attacks, which include pulling the screen up, shooting off into 4 spike balls, and turning into a massive cog. As well as this, you've got the section where the entire screen rotates and you have to keep up. Coming into the top 10, we have Unlocked. This is the correct way to send obstacles from all 4 directions. After this happens, the middle pulses with waves that come from all directions from it, then all of a sudden the beat drops hard, and the walls slowly move in from the centre to the outer walls, all while a laser spins around. This level is just so damn funky and I love it. At number 9, we have Dub Woofer Substep. Despite the strange name, the level starts euphoric with calm music and gentle rain pouring down into an ever-growing river below the player. Then when the beat drops, and in the most hilarious way,
because of the extreme amount of bass, listener's discretion is advised.
the level completely changes up into a fast-paced, crazy mash of walls slamming down into the river and lasers instantaneously spawning. It's amazing, frantic fun. At number 8, we have Milky Ways, the second level of story mode. This level has it all, from an iconic incredible beat to explosions of pellets, appearing blocks and quick projectiles. This level also equally sends things from the left side of the screen as well as the right, which makes it stand out since it keeps the player on their toes whilst navigating around the obstacles. At number 7 is Cool Friends with its cool beat. This level is such a joy to be in, what with its lasers spawning into the beat, the central spinner, and its swords which try and chop you up at every step of the way. The ending is good too, since there's nowhere to go and you initially think there's nothing you can do to stop the spinning saw until suddenly it disappears and you're safe. Amazing. At number 6 is Hype, and the title of the level certainly does not lie. It is insanely hyped to be in this level, what with its fast-paced level design. The music's on point as well, and it's just overall an amazing but challenging experience. And number 5 is Lightspeed. Another 1.4 level, Lightspeed knocks it out the park with its beautifully made level design. You'll start by carefully dodging incoming projectile waves which explode on impact, and then you'll dodge spiked pellets, and then the whole screen erupts with brilliance when the beat drops, and it's simply a fantastic experience. At number 4 is Commando Steve. I'm not sure why this is the level name. Commando Steve has you dodging several obstacles at once, which slowly gets more intense and frantic as the level goes on, especially when the beat drops. At the end, the level design changes so you're dodging incoming projectiles which leave trails behind them. As well as looking great, this level also plays great and is overall insanely fun to play. Coming in at number 3 we have Try This. I remember the first time I played this level, I immediately got those James Bond vibes, from the incredible music to the inspired level design. This level has you dashing through walls, avoiding shurikens, lasers and beams of light which all go amazingly to the beat. And after the beat drops, you're sent into a straight panic as the shurikens, lasers and beams of light come back once more, now in an enclosed space. This level is an immensely fun challenge, whether you're a casual player or not. And number 2 we have Deadlocked. This level is straight up stunning. Not only is this level nostalgic for past Geometry Dash players who've played or beaten Deadlocked, this level feels like a follow-up, for it's incredibly difficult and a great challenge for anyone willing to try it. You've got laser beams coming in triples on beat to the music, as well as pulses of pellets flying at you. Then the screen starts scrolling as well as everything else happening, keeping you on your toes at all times. And, not unlike Geometry Dash, the ending makes you feel like you succeeded and accomplished a huge amount. It is crazy satisfying beating Deadlocked without taking a hit. It's an insane challenge and a rewarding one at that. And taking the top spot on this list at number 1 is Barracuda. This level is as close to perfect as you can possibly get in a Just Shapes and Beats level. This level starts abruptly with an explosion of pellets, with snakes emerging slowly out of the boss. Then it pulses walls of pink out of the sides of the triangle with even more snakes. Then after lines rise slowly up, the beat drops and he pulses out pellets, big and small, right at you. After that, snakes emerge from all over the screen while he appears in different locations and pulses out a wave of big projectiles. As well as having the best level design, this level also has the best music, with the most incredible beat drop I've ever heard in my life. This level screams perfection, and I don't think the developers could make a better level if they tried, though Deadlocked was a close second. Damn, I did not expect this script to be 6 pages and 4,000 words long. It was surprisingly difficult to rank all the levels, since it took me a while to get them all in the order that I was happy with. Of course, your opinions may differ to mine, so feel free to leave a comment down below about what your thoughts are and what your favourite Just Shapes and Beats levels are. Thank you guys all so much for watching. If you did enjoy this style of video and maybe would like to see more of its kind, then make sure to like, comment, share and subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you all in the next one.